Right now it's 6 Democrats at the DNC on Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district race. And Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance makes another stop in Wisconsin.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown. Ken is on assignment. The former Monroe County deputy facing sexual assault charges pled not guilty today in La Crosse Circuit Court. 29-year-old Aaron Yang is charged with allegedly having sexual contact with a 16-year-old female in 2023. He is charged with 2 counts of third-degree sexual assault, child enticement/sexual contact, and sexual intercourse with a child 16 or older. Yang will be back in court on December 5th. Well, a little cooler out today. We had a good amount of cloud coverage today, and it made for cooler temps, but we will be heating up later on in the week, Greg.
Yeah, with the high cloud cover that we had today, it kept our temperatures more into the mid to upper 70s, which is below average. We should be around low 80s, so that's why it felt a little cooler. But overall, still very pleasant conditions, speaking of for the middle of August right now. For this evening, just that high cloud cover out there. We'll continue to see that getting back down to 63 at 11 p.m. So still pleasant, very pleasant conditions. Same for Eau Claire, too. That cloud cover will be out there, but high clouds, still some sun until it sets. Otherwise, getting back down to 61 with some light winds. Overall, cloud cover is because of a system out to the west. We're not getting the precipitation from it. It's going to stay to the west, but we're getting the cloud cover overhead, and there's your temperatures, upper 60s to low 70s in most areas. Some areas did get close to 80. As we kind of zoom out, you can kind of see that activity pushes all the way to the west. It's pushing to the southeast. So we'll see this cloud cover continue overnight, but it will start to decrease a little bit after midnight. So we set up to the potential to see some more morning fog once again. Temperatures maybe a little cooler, more 40s out there, low 50s as you wake up tomorrow morning. Now we should be up to about 83 for this time. Right now we're not even close, and for the most part a lot of this month we haven't been that close. But that's going to change as we go towards the weekend, and we'll kind of break down what those temperatures look like and the humidity levels a bit later in the broadcast.
Oh boy, looking forward to that. Thank you, Greg. Wisconsin's delegation at the Democratic National Convention is serving up optimism for one of the state's congressional districts to turn blue this fall. Ken Kozarowski is in Chicago with more.
The Democratic National Convention obviously makes electing Kamala Harris as president the top priority, and Wisconsin party leaders know the lure of a presidential election means good things for down-ballot races as well. And that's especially key for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district, which is considered the only flippable House seat in the state of Wisconsin. But can partisan primary winner Rebecca Cook be that candidate to flip the district back to blue after 2 years of Derek Van Orden? We asked members of Western Wisconsin's delegation to find out.
She's got a really good chance of winning, and we're going to make it happen.
Governor Evers and Western Wisconsin Dems are all confident Eau Claire's Rebecca Cook will flip the 3rd district. And it starts with the national spotlight Kamala Harris and Tim Walz gave Eau Claire for their 2nd rally as a duo.
12,000 people show up for the Eau Claire rally, and in my hometown, you don't see that kind of turnout for a political rally. Maybe for Country Jam or Rock Fest, but not for a political rally, and I think that shows the enthusiasm there is for the top of the ticket.
Some of their confidence comes from their belief most voters just don't like Congressman Derek Van Orden. They see Cook's dairy farmer and waitress background as an asset. 3rd District Chair William Garcia says Cook's strength is talking one-on-one with voters because she knows their struggles.
Her story is so relatable to voters. And then she's talking about the exact same issues that we are talking about with Kamala Harris, making life just a little easier with better access to health care, lower prescription drug costs.
And with 6 UW campuses in the district, a younger candidate who calls for working across the aisle is hitting home with 3rd District students.
We know how to have conversations with people across the aisle because we have to every day. We don't get to live in a little bubble like in cities. We don't get to just be around like-minded people all the time. You learn in church basements and at the grocery store just how to talk to your neighbors. And Rebecca grew up in a community like that.
Dems say the numbers back that up. 61,000 people voted in the 3rd District primary 2 years ago. This year, 83,000.
Just that is almost double the number that Brad Pfaff lost to Van Orden.
The other numbers that matter are the ones with a dollar sign in front of them. Last election, the National Democrats pulled money from Brad Pfaff's campaign late in the race. With Wisconsin as such a focal point this summer, Garcia says there's no way that history repeats itself.
They pulled money and they sent it out to protect seats that lost by a whole lot more than Brad Pfaff lost by. And so they're looking at that seat. They know they screwed up 2 years ago, and they're going to make it up to us this time.
It all has Democrats believing Cook will serve up a win in November. For News 8 Now, I'm Ken Kozarowski.
Congressman Pocan said because Wisconsin has such a late partisan primary, that party money from outside the state is crucial to helping Cook muster resources against an incumbent. Day one of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago capped off last night with a speech from President Joe Biden. In his almost 1 hour speech, Biden highlighted his 50 years of public service, touching on 60 million new jobs created and his infrastructure package. He exclaimed that, quote, "The best days are ahead of us, that democracy has prevailed, democracy has delivered, and now democracy must be preserved." Sarah Godlewski is proud of Joe Biden's accomplishments.
I was proud to be a Democrat and proud to be an American. Joe Biden has dedicated his life to public service, and he got things done. And he not only talked about the infrastructure package, but how he lowered the cost of prescription drugs.
President Biden officially endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, as the Democratic candidates. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance made another stop in Wisconsin today to speak to a crowd of law enforcement in Kenosha. Vance highlighted Trump's support of police while attacking Democratic leadership for being what he called soft on crime. Republican Representative Brian Stile, Wisconsin Senate candidate Eric Hovde, and Kenosha County Sheriff David Zorner joined Vance on the stage. Hovde echoed Vance's sentiment of supporting the police and being tough on crime.
I support law enforcement. President Trump, J.D. Vance will always have your back, and we will never incorporate such a crazy idea as defund the police.
Now, today was Vance's third trip to the battleground state this month. Residents in Wisconsin are being urged to check their water quality online. Today, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources announced the Wisconsin Water Explorer. The Water Explorer is a web-based tool that shows the water quality of local lakes or rivers. The tool provides insight into current conditions, analyzes data, and makes automatic reports. People who are interested in water quality monitoring in their area can join the DNR's Citizen Lake Monitoring Network. According to the La Crosse County Health Department's annual overdose fatality review, overdose deaths have increased by 45% in 2023 compared to the previous year. 55 people died from a drug overdose in 2023. Synthetic opioids like fentanyl were involved in 85% of those deaths. 3/4 of those who died from an overdose had more than one substance in their system at the time of death. The deaths were most common among those ages 25 through 64. Ukraine's surprise offensive, how Ukraine's forces pushed into Russia after the break.
Now is the time to finally get the pizza oven or fire table you've been looking at. Come to La Crosse Fireplace Company's end of the year clearance. In-stock fire tables and wood-fired pizza ovens are starting at 25% off. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Life has become too expensive. Groceries and gas have gotten out of control, and red tape is killing the economy. But fortunately, our Congressman Derek Van Orden is fighting for solutions to make living more affordable for us in Wisconsin. He's advocating for common sense bills that would make everyday items like gas and groceries more affordable.
Now, Congress has an opportunity to lower costs by cutting red tape. Tell Congressman Van Orden to keep working to lower costs and support the Red Tape Reduction Act.
Drive into summer with a new Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, or the all-new Civic Hybrid. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Now is the time to finally get the pizza oven or fire table you've been looking at. Come to La Crosse Fireplace Company's end of the year clearance. In-stock fire tables and wood-fired pizza ovens are starting at 25% off. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Troops involved in Ukraine's surprise push into Russian territory showed CBS correspondent Ian Lee, without revealing their location, how they did it. We should mention that Ukraine's army reviewed our video but had no control over Ian's reporting. Ian has the details from the Russia-Ukraine border.
This road carries more than troops and supplies. It's transporting the hopes of a nation. A vital supply line connecting Ukraine with its offensive in Russia's Kursk region. Our journey to the border reveals the high cost of war.
Just looking around at the horizon, you can see plumes of smoke coming from different directions.
As we arrive at the last checkpoint, we're told a Russian glide bomb has hit in the distance.
We are right on the border with Russia, and if the amount of military hardware is anything to go by, this offensive shows no sign of slowing down. As far as Russia from here?
Скільки метрів звідси Russia? 50 meters.
50 meters.
This is as far as we go.
Around 2 weeks ago, Russia was in control of that side of the border. 50 yards down, that's Russian territory. But as you can see from the damage here, Ukrainian forces smashed through this point and they're pushing deeper into the Kursk region.
Tucked in the surrounding dense forests, mortar teams support the Ukrainian troops pushing forward. And just beyond this border crossing, Ukraine claims to have captured nearly 500 square miles of Russian territory. A buffer zone Kyiv hopes will protect residents in the region. Ian Lee, CBS News on the Ukraine-Russia border.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony in Eau Claire, the unveiling of a new space that's bringing community together.
Pleasant conditions continue for the rest of the week, but we are looking at hot and humid conditions returning for the weekend. I'll break down what that means for temperature-wise and if we got any precipitation in the forecast. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
The La Crosse Area Builders Association's Parade of Homes, August 22nd through the 25th, with 12 different projects including new homes. Search LABA Parade of Homes for more information and tickets and discover your home's potential.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Listen, Eric Hovde, Mr. Fancy California banker, I earned my retirement, but you said you would absolutely cut Social Security and even raise the retirement age. Now you want to take away our right to vote? Eric Hovde, you're one heck of a jerk. Will never have my vote. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. At Taco John's, we've got beef with other places that start with frozen beef. That's why we start with only 100% American never frozen beef, simmered in our signature spice blend. Say no to thaw and yes to 100% American beef at Taco John's.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The Eau Claire Community Center is getting some new additions. Today, the Eau Claire Chamber of Commerce and the City of Eau Claire hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new SCS Community Center. The Community Center features a 24-hour access fitness center, an outdoor kitchen area with a grill, and a gas fireplace. The Director of Business Development says the new center will help the community come together and have a space to build connections.
The residents have access to this area to come together because we really are trying to build a multi-generational community. So they have a place to gather with their neighbors. If they're having a larger party, they have some space that's available that they can gather in.
Several other multifamily projects are still under construction, and if you're interested in learning about apartment availability, you can visit their website. We'll have those linked on our digital platforms. A little cool off we had today. Not feeling quite like August, but we do have a slight warm up tomorrow, Greg.
We got a little bit warmer tomorrow, but I think the bigger temperature change will come towards the weekend when we probably will see 90 again. If you thought we haven't felt a lot of 90s this summer, you're probably pretty much correct, because 8 in La Crosse, 2 in Eau Claire. This is talking about June, July, and August. I think we'll add to some totals, but far different from last year where we're going through the drought when we had a lot of 90s, given that although our dew points were much lower, we didn't have the humidity, so we didn't have a heat index, but we saw a lot more 90s with going tomorrow. But as we go throughout the next few days, it's going to remain the same. Really the pattern with the northwest flow coming around into the area will keep us mild. Occasionally some of these weak little systems push close to it. We get cloud cover, but they fall apart, and that's what we're kind of seeing right now is cloud cover from the system with precipitation staying to the west. That'll be the trend here for the next couple days until we get that ridge to push further east. Still got some overnight fog potential. Pleasant conditions continue through Thursday, even Friday, a little bit more mild. Might have a shower come through Thursday. That's when another system comes just north of us, but I think that'll be a very small chance. Overall, this is just high cloud cover. There's your precipitation well to the west. That's going to stay there. We're just going to see this cloud cover continue through the evening, but you'll notice a thinning trend as we go throughout midnight and beyond. We'll see less clouds as you wake up. We'll also have some fog potential, but temperatures getting back into the 40s in some of the colder spots. Otherwise, we'll see 50s in most other spots. Then as we wake up tomorrow morning, the winds turn around to the southeast. Cloud cover more in the morning, but I think there'll be plenty more sun in the afternoon. So temperatures may be a degree or two, maybe up to 3 degrees warmer probably tomorrow afternoon, given the less cloud cover out there. Still not quite to where we should be. Upper 70s, maybe some 80s out there. All in all, it still should be quiet as we go through Wednesday evening and pleasant conditions. Less cloud cover going in, and then really it's going to be a repeat Thursday, probably with more clouds. Speaking of fog potential, I think tonight with that little bit of turn in the wind, I think it'll be more of river valley type fog, but still it's between about 5 to about 8 a.m. That's when you can start to see some of this visibility drop, occasionally down to 1 to 2 miles, maybe less in certain areas. You can see some of the Wisconsin River area, other river areas that might see that visibility drop occasionally down to a quarter. So similar type of trend. Won't be widespread or dense pretty much for all the areas, but we'll still see that. Now the jet stream, as I mentioned, really begins to push up to the north, and that will allow the temperatures to continue to rise as we get closer to the weekend. It does weaken the jet, so we're not expecting any systems to come through, but it keeps to the north. So that's going to begin to pull some of this warm air that's been to the south. And if you look at the temperature trend departure from average, it's going to start pushing back up well above average as we get towards Friday a little bit, but then the weekend definitely 10 degrees above, maybe even 15. We'll see. That means you're looking at about mid-90s potentially for some areas. Along with that, the dew points are going to come up. That means the humidity is going to start rising, and we'll have a little bit of a heat index. So muggy conditions are coming back, but not for tomorrow. Few degrees otherwise. We're going to see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s for most locations. Less clouds in the afternoon, minus a little bit of fog as we go throughout the evening hour, the morning hour. Otherwise, we're going to see that heat and humidity arrive by Saturday and Sunday and continue into Monday. The one thing note, there's not much of a rain chance in the forecast right now. We'll see if that changes towards the later half of next week, but overall, summer is coming back for at least 3 or 4 days, so we're going to see some 90s.
Okay, I like what I see. I'm going to like what I feel too. Thank you, Greg. Coming up in sports, a new voice in the huddle doesn't mean any lowered expectations. Find out why the Aquinas Blue Gold volleyball team is hoping for a big year. Up next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Before she was the most liberal U.S. Senator, Kamala Harris was the liberal San Francisco prosecutor, the most progressive in all of California. She let an MS-13 gang member go, who then murdered a father and his 2 sons. She agreed to release another felon, who then committed murder. And Kamala even protected illegal alien drug dealers so they could escape deportation. Kamala Harris, a dangerous San Francisco liberal. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Get up to $7,400 in total savings on a new 2024 Ford F-150, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
T-Mobile coverage in my area is wonderful.
We have 8 acres, and it gives you peace of mind to know that you're going to have a reliable signal.
We enjoy hiking. We enjoy the outdoors. The coverage has been great.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Back in 2016, Danny Dolan was one of the leaders of the Aquinas State volleyball team. A year later, after she graduated, Nellie George took over as the new head coach. Now Dolan is succeeding George as the newest leader of the Blue Gold team. Today was day 2 of practice for Aquinas, and there were smiles all over the floor as excitement is high within the program for what's to come. Last year, the Blue Golds fell 1 game short of making the state tournament, but a ton of production returns from that group a season ago. Danny Dolan is very familiar with the team as she coached most of them in the JV ranks for the last couple of years. Now she takes over at the varsity level, and Dolan hopes to lead them to a similar path her and her team went down 8 years ago.
I said to the girls today when we met this morning that this program meant so much to me when I was in high school and I played for this team, and there's no greater feeling than reaching the milestones that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year.
She also said she's spoiled to inherit such a talented roster, but the feeling is mutual for the players. They are excited to play for their new head coach and hope to make it to the Resch Center this time around.
I feel like this transition has been super seamless, and I feel like Danny was the best person for this job. Obviously, I loved having Nellie as my coach for 3 years, but they have a lot of similarities, and I'm just super excited to work with Danny, too.
I think playing in a state game would be so fun and just a really cool experience for us all to have. And we were so close last year, so I'm really hoping that this year we're able to work it out and make it there.
Aquinas will go for their 6th consecutive 20-win season. The Blue Golds get going with their first game a week from today at home against Holman. And some news out of the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference today. The UWL football team has been picked to finish first in the conference, according to a preseason poll conducted by head coaches and SIDs in the league. Their 11 wins a season ago were the most since 1996. Elsewhere in the standings, perennial powerhouse UW Whitewater is picked to finish 2nd, and UW River Falls and UW Platteville are slated to finish 3rd and 4th respectively. So big expectations for your UW Lacrosse to have some teams with hopes for long runs this year in games. So fun stuff with the Aquinas team, but I wanted to see, were you a volleyballer back in the day, Emily? Talk to me.
Not quite.
No?
The last full volleyball game I played was in elementary school. That's it.
Yeah.
I just never got into it.
Yeah, but you said you were good at the serve.
I was good at the serve. Other than that, no. Don't you have to be pretty tall to be a good volleyball player?
Helps, but
I'm like 5'4".
It is
Didn't
fun.
work in my
it's
favor.
Fun to do.
Yeah.
Intramurals back in the day, but yeah.
You enjoyed
we
it?
hung up the not the cleats, but the shoes.
Oh, the shoes.
No more playing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, we have another look at your forecast right after this.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
It's Toyota's national sales event. Swipe into end of summer fun with an exciting new Toyota. Whether you're paddleboarding in a RAV4, mountain biking in a Tacoma, or tubing with your best friends in a Camry, you'll find plenty to post about all summer long.
Right now, during Toyota's national sales event, you can lease a new Tacoma for $349 a month, or get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new Tundra.
Come in today. Ooh, like.
Toyota, let's go places.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's window and door replacement experts. Our superior quality, energy-saving windows and doors from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen are skillfully installed by certified technicians and backed by some of the strongest transferable warranties available. Save up to 20% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. Brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
Well, usually this time of year, you're kind of sweating it out on the golf course, but the stretch of weather continues with fantastic conditions in the 70s, cool, a little bit of sun, but still some clouds out there. So really can't beat it. And it's going to continue probably through Friday, a little warmer, but then the heat and humidity arrive this weekend. Looks like 90s are coming back, at least for a couple days.
Yeah, good weekend to go jump in lakes.
Yeah.
Multiple lakes.
Yeah, you got plenty to do, right?
Stay cool.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. We'll see you at 10.